This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Well, the recent acquisition of Ultimate Tenera's Adventures really kind of made me start thinking about a lot of things. And that's why, I guess it comes down to, why can't companies, before they put out a game, make sure that they have the rules completely right? You're always running into these 1.2s, 1.3s, 1.5s, 1.6 revisions of games. And I guess if they just, it's one thing if they just say, hey, we've got an FAQ. We found that as, hundreds and, and thousands of people played our game, that we found a couple of mistakes. That's okay. It's when they come out with an entire different game and they call it 1.5. Well, we fixed some cards. We fixed this. We fixed that. So if you go to Kickstarter and you kickstart something, okay, and you get the 1.0 version of it, okay, you've paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars, okay. Perfect example is Stars of Icaros, right? First they come out with, and some other games as well. Let's not just single, those people out. When you back something and then you're playing it and it comes to you broken, okay, cards aren't right, rules, there's some holes in the rules, and then they run another Kickstarter for the 1.5 version which fixes everything. Is that fair to you? And this seems to be a common practice and nobody screams about it. We can get into Kingdom Death Monster, but I think that's kind of a different thing as you come out with more expansions. But I think it confuses the consumer a lot. If you have 1.0 of Kingdom Death Monster, okay, is that playable with some of the newer creatures that they finally release? No, it is not. Okay, and it doesn't make sense. This never really happened with older games and things like that. Is there a 1.5 for Warhammer Quest? No. Space Hulk. Is there a revision for their rules? No, they release another edition. Maybe they'll make a few changes, but what they do is, over the years, have made upgrades. Okay, they changed how the game's played. Well, let's do this because it's sold out. Now we're going to call this version 2. Sells out, goes out of print for forever. We make it version 3. I can deal with that. Because as molding and everything improved, these games improved. But nowadays, it just seems common practice to find out that, well, we're going to come out with a 1.5 version of the game. Okay? And it kind of makes your 1.0 version not worth anything. Because you're going to want to play the 1.5 with all the fixed rules. And it's really discouraging, especially if you take your very hard-earned money and put it into things. Now, some of my favorite games have done this, okay? And you kind of sit there and scratch your head and you go, okay, do I need this? If I get the rule book, is that going to solve everything? Or download the rule book? For some of the games, yeah, that works. But for some of the games, you need to get the 1.5 to get the upgraded and fixed cards, or some of the defects in print defects that might happen. We're not taking our quality control Seriously. We're trying to get everything out quickly, it seems, a lot of these companies, so they can bring in the dollar, the almighty dollar, which keeps everybody going. And you can kind of understand it with the way the economy is, and the way COVID happened, and so many other things that have really put things behind the eight ball. And I understand mistakes in a rule book, but when you have to come out with run a Kickstarter and come out with an entire different version, well, we made a whole bunch of improvements. Why didn't you make sure the game was right when it came out from the start? Head scratcher, isn't it? Head scratcher. Okay. You go buy a brand new car, okay? You know, you can kind of put it to that. Well, you know, after people, you know, there's a couple of recalls for that car. That's unacceptable as well. Excuse me. There are a lot of different things that I don't understand why we settle for these type of things. You know, why aren't we testing properly? Why aren't the playtesters playtesting properly? Are they just playing it just to, well, I want to see what this is about, and not giving the proper feedback? Is it on the playtesters? Is it on the company for not making sure that their game is thorough enough? You know, if you create something, don't you think you played it maybe a couple 200 times? Or you just so, well, okay, let's throw this together, put it out, get it to Kickstarter, and then it comes late and it's broken. Where else would you deal with that? If that happened when you bought a refrigerator, okay, or even a car. If you bought a car and it was breaking all the time because it wasn't tested properly, you can understand a couple of recalls or something that they do for free. But if you're in the middle of the highway and your car breaks down because they didn't test your car properly, you're never buying from another car. Well, we have the 2024 model that's coming out, which will be better than the 2023 model. Why don't you trade in your 2023? No. You expect these things to last a while. If you buy a refrigerator, well, we have the 1.5 coming out. Okay. Sorry your water dispenser doesn't work. But we fixed it in the next model that we're selling. Wait a minute. I just bought this. I only bought this last year. That's not right. Oh, my solar panels. Oh, they only lasted a year because we made a model that absorbs the sun better. Huh? You'd never buy from those companies again. Yet we keep on going back to some of these companies. And they keep on doing the 1.5s and the 1.3s and the 1.4s and the 1.6s. Okay? Heck, we've even seen a couple 2.0s. Instead of getting new content, you're getting the same stuff, only fixed. And you're paying twice for it. Does that make sense? If you did this in anything else, people never buy from those people again. These businesses would be out of business. But in gaming, for some reason, that seems to be acceptable. And it scratches my head. Makes me scratch my head. Well, let me fix that. I'll make it a 1.2. I'll fix this video. Maybe I'll make another video after this, calling it 1.3, fixing all the things that I've done. No, if people make a whole bunch of mistakes, reviewers, in taping something, they don't put it out and say, "Hey, listen, I'll fix all this later. You can watch the 1.3 later." Huh? No. They edit. They look. They watch their video. Me, I don't edit. What's the point? You know, there's a bit of professionalism, and that's what we're missing, it seems. Let's get something out. Let's get that money in. What I can't understand is when you get Kickstarter money in and you say, okay, we have all this money, everybody's backing us to make sure that we do this right. We go late 2 or 3 years, and then we put out the product, and it's still not finished. So, listen, we wanted to make sure we got it into your hands. You backed us. We're going to make it up to you. We're going to run another Kickstarter for 1.5. And maybe we'll add a new expansion in there. Does this make sense? I don't know. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Because this is a subject that you don't hear a lot about. And I don't understand why. Why is it so accepting? Anyways, my dear friends, why don't you just leave a nice, wonderful comment and let me know what you think, okay? And point out some of the companies that you've run into that have done this to you. Because I have things and I go, oh man, even though I didn't open this, I have this. And then I find out that there's a better version of it. And it's because everything in the box that I have is broken. Okay. Doesn't work for me. And I don't think it should work for you. I think companies should be held a lot more accountable, okay? And do a better job. There are some fantastic companies that when you get something and you play it, it's dead on. I can name all those companies off, and I can name a whole bunch of bad companies. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk about the situation as it is. So let me know what you think in the comments. I look forward to everything that you guys say. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.